Dear Melissa, back in episode 123 at moment 1238, you mentioned the value of putting a PM software to sit on top of Jira. We recently purchased a PM tool and are piloting the implementation with one of our products. One of the issues we're struggling with is deciding the level that the PM software should end and Jira should begin. For example, it makes sense engineers need the autonomy to create their own subtasks, bugs, in Jira. But on the other hand, components at a high level are best mapped in our new product management software. What questions should we be asking to navigate the gray in between? Are we viewing this the wrong way? So if you want to think about where Jira ends and where the product management software begins, the idea here is to roll up things into different strategic components. So for example, the tasks that you have in Jira are probably breaking down work towards a feature or an initiative that you're building. So there needs to be, I call this in my product strategy frameworks, options. So you can think of options like an epic, right? The epic should really describe what you're actually trying to release to customers, like a chunk of valuable software that's going to be delivered. That doesn't mean that you might not be releasing a few things before that or testing it, but like this is a thing that's going out to customers that's going to be valuable, that's going to have meaningful outcomes associated with it. And then many of these options roll up to make an initiative, which is something that's a little longer term, probably takes maybe like either like a quarter or 6 months to actually get out there. Those roll up to the strategic intents. So when you're looking for a product management tool on top of Jira, you don't care about the subtasks. You don't care about all the individual tasks that the developers are actually working on. The idea for this tool is to roll it up into something where we can look at it and say, what value is being delivered to customers in what form? Like what feature are we releasing? What improvement are we releasing? What's that actually going to do from a outcome perspective? And then how does that roll up into the next level and then into the company strategy? So that's what a good product management software tool is for. So you should really keep like bugs and subtasks and every little nitty gritty thing to like do the work out of the product management software. And the way that I think you should think about it is that the way that you use this product management software is to keep track of the big pushes so that you can communicate roadmaps and you can communicate valuable things for customers to the rest of the organization and within your product teams. So think of it as like, if I were to go to sales and talk about this thing that's happening in the next month, do they care, right? They probably do not care about a developer building their API integration themselves to get into a platform. Like that's what they have to do. It's not anything that we're going to care about from a sales marketing perspective or from a product perspective, because that by itself doesn't deliver value. So you want to think about it rolling up. So I think if you're having trouble here as well, go back and revisit your product strategy cadences and your canvas. So I have a product strategy canvas that's online at melissaperri.com, but think about your different layers. What are you responsible for as a product manager? What's your leader responsible for a product manager? What's the right way to communicate that? What types of things should be on the roadmap? A roadmap should not be just a bunch of tasks that developers are working on. It should be meaningful value that's being released to customers and how we're going to get there. So what's going to be coming out, today versus tomorrow versus the next time, or how we're thinking about organizing those things towards the value. That's what we're looking for. So we want to make sure that those are the things that get communicated into our roadmap. One other thing I should add that I just thought of off the top of my head was that if you are doing some foundational work on the product, let's say like you have to do something about something that's going to be like released internally, let's say that is a prerequisite for being able to release that value, you're going to want to think about who you're communicating that to, right? Sales probably doesn't care about that. So I would leave that off of roadmaps that could communicate to sales, but internally, if they're setting dependencies or things that we care about from a team level perspective, you may want to communicate that onto your roadmap. So you might want to say, these are foundational work that won't produce customer value, but are things that we're going to have to do to get ready to produce the customer value. So when I'm looking at your PM tool, I'd probably want to see many different views of the roadmap. And I'd want to think about what's important and who am I communicating with. Internally, what do the other product managers care about? What do my leaders care about? What do other teams care about? And then make sure that you have that level of communication set up in your PM tool. So those are the types of things that you want that to communicate instead of Jira. Like you don't need all the nitty gritty on there. You want to roll it up. How do I roll it up into something that's meaningful? So hopefully that helps.